much more talkative than she usually is. Uncle Mazin is smiling too, and he looks at Mama and says, "This tastes like home." Chapter 18. When Layla first tells me about the school musical, I don't understand what she is saying. My school back home did not put on plays. School was for serious subjects like science and math, things that can be measured and calculated. It's a big deal, Layla says. This is one of Layla's favorite phrases. I've saved it for the next time I talk to Issa. I think he will find it funny. So many people try out, Layla says, and people from all over the city come to watch on opening night. Last year, it was written about in the paper. Are you going to try out? I ask, and Layla gives me the same look that she gave me before, the one that is part surprise, part waiting, part unknown. No, she finally says, laughing in the way that has nothing to do with humor. I'm going to work on the sets. You should too. You should do it too. It's fun. I don't say yes, but I go with her to the meeting that takes place after school in our school's big theater. The theater is beautiful with a wide wooden stage and velvet plush seats that you sink into when you sit down. The seats remind me of the movie theater that Sammy took Fatima and me to that one summer. I cannot believe this school, my school, has an auditorium like this. As I watch the teacher, Mrs. Bloom, talk about the spring musical up on the stage, the lights beaming right onto her face, I try to imagine what it would be like to stand up there. I can't imagine it. I can't stop imagining it. I look from side to side and see so many faces that are also imagining it. One of them I recognize. It is Sarah. She is sitting with three of her friends a few rows in front of Layla and me. Layla nudges my shoulder as if to ask, "Do you see her?" I nod. I wonder if Sarah is thinking about trying out for the play or if she wants to make sets like Layla. Everyone gets very quiet while Mrs. Bloom talks about the guidelines for the tryout, a 2-minute monologue, and a song. The tryouts will take place the week we get back from winter break. Mrs. Bloom paces the stage, the heels of her boots echoing against the wood, and I imagine it again. Me, walking on the stage, my footsteps echoing, my voice radiating through the room, all the eyes in the entire room focused on me. At the end of the meeting, Mrs. Bloom sets down some packets on the stage. I follow Layla, fully intending to take the one about joining the stage and tech crew. But at the last minute, I grab a tryout packet too. Chapter 9, 19. Math class is tough for me because I usually know how to solve for X or Y, but I don't know how to explain how I know. So I stay quiet while Mr. Anderson calls on other students to answer the sample problems, like the boy who almost always wears a space t shirt. I stare at his back, at all of those stars. Sometimes it is comforting to me to remember how vast the universe is, how small our galaxy is in comparison, how I still live in the same galaxy as Baba and Isa and Fatima and Auntie Amal. I glance out the window at the trees that are shedding their final leaves. I wonder if it is exhausting to be a tree, to lose something year after year, only to trust that it will someday grow back. Winter arrives with a thud, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. Our teachers tell us that winter doesn't officially start until December 21st, but the snow outside tells a different story. At school, we all wear sweaters, turtlenecks, an American word for a clothing item that makes me laugh, hats, gloves. One day, the heater in the building of our school gives out, and we all keep our coats on inside. It feels like an adventure we are all having together. During Mrs. Ravenswood's class, Omar shivers. It is never this cold in Somalia. He is surprised that I am not bothered by the cold. Syria, I say, is a country with many climates. Everyone in the class seems surprised by this. I like being able to surprise people. In Mrs. Ravenswood's class, we practice talking about the weather. At first, I feel silly practicing with Grace. It is cold. You will need